Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Randy and this is a vinyl tag, and we've had several go around at the beginning of the year, and then recently we had a jazz vinyl tag go around, and then a country vinyl tag went around, and then Chris at BluesGuyVinyl says, why don't we have a blues vinyl tag? And so Chris developed this one, and it's got 20 prompts on here, so I'm just going to go ahead and get started on this one. And the first prompt is show an electric blues album. So I'm going to go with the great electric blues guitarist Johnny Winter. And this is album Nothing But the Blues. Came out in 1977, and it was on Blue Sky Records. And the next prompt is to show an acoustic blues album. And this is one I got from George Allen, an early influential blues guitarist, and Fred McDowell, often called Mississippi Fred McDowell, and this is his album Mississippi Delta Blues, and it was on the Black Lion label. So that's my acoustic blues album. Number 3 is to show a live blues recording. I'm going to show Southside Safari by Luther Allison, and this was a blues record that was recorded in 1979 at a place at the other side in Peoria Heights, Illinois. And this was on Red Lightning Records. You wanted to see the label. Some of these blues labels are pretty cool here. So this was Red Lightning Records. The next one, show a gatefold or a double album. And I'm just going to show a double album. This was on Gusto Records, and this is Lonnie Johnson. And it's called Tomorrow Night. Might recognize Tomorrow Night is one of the songs Elvis did on the Sun Sessions. But wonderful blues guitarist as well is Lonnie Johnson. The next is your oldest blues album by year or how long you've had it. Well, I've said this story before that I went and got the Rolling Stone record guide, and I started buying the 5-star albums in here. And probably the first blues album I got, and the one that's been in my collection the longest, and this was from 1961, and it's Two Steps from the Blues with Bobby Blue Bland on MCA Records here. Originally, this is a later issue, but wonderful, call him the Sinatra of the blues. He has such an amazing voice, and one of my favorite singers is Bobby Bland. And the next one I have here is your newest album or your most recent find. It's not a new album, but it's my most recent find, and that's T-Bone Jumps Again, T-Bone Walker, and this is a Charlie reissue label out of UK. And there's the label. But T-Bone Walker was known for his showmanship. And I think people like Chuck Berry and Jimi Hendrix and the like were probably watching him because he's one of the first ones to start playing the guitar behind his head and so many other things he used to do on stage. But T-Bone Walker, T-Bone Jumps Again is my latest find. Next is to show a Blues 45. So I'm showing one on Checker from 1959. This is Everything Gonna Be Alright, and Backtrack on the other side. And this is Little Walter, the great blues harmonica player on Checker label. And that's my 45. And the other next thing is to show a blues 10-inch. And so, got to be careful on these because I've broken some of these 7/8 before. And this is on Swing Time. And this is the great Lowell Folsom. He was on Chess for quite a while, but he was out of LA, even though Chess was a Chicago label. But this is his song, Sinner's Prayer. And on the other side is Lloyd Glenn, Old Time Shuffle Blues. Ray Charles was on Swing Time for a time too. But this was from 1950. My 10-inch record. Number 9, Show a Chess Records label. So we've got this Sonny Boy Williamson, which is Rice Miller. This is the second Sonny Boy, probably the most famous. Well, he is the most famous. And this is the album, The Real Folk Blues. And this is like an original masters, where they re-released a lot of these classic blues albums on the Chess label. Is the one of them there. So that's my chess label. Next is to show on number 10 a Delmark Records label. This is also a reissue. This was done by Analog Productions, and it's the classic album Hoodoo Man Blues with Junior Wells and the Chicago Blues Band, and originally on, if I can get it out of here, the Delmark label. So that's my Delmark label. This sounds amazing, this Analog Productions. Okay. Next is Show an Alligator Records label. And this is Little Ed and the Blues Imperials. And their song on here, Everything I Do Brings Me Closer to the Blues, is such a great song. This is their album, Roughhousin', and there's the famous Alligator label. Okay. Next is to show a smaller indie blues label. So I'm showing the Rooster Blues Records label. Founded in Chicago. It looks like that. And this is Valerie Wellington, $1 Million Secret, with Magic Slim and the Teardrops. Wonderful blues recording. She's got an amazing voice, Valerie Wellington. Okay. All the way up to number 13. A blues album in a regional style. And I'm going to show some Texas blues with the San Antonio Ballbuster by Clarence Gatemouth Brown. And this is an amazing album. This one's on the Red Lightning label. That's the second one I've had from them. But he was an amazing guitarist, but he also a great fiddle player as well. But great album, San Antonio Ballbuster. One of the ones I found in the Rolling Stone Record Guide that had 5 stars when I had seen the review. Okay, next is Show a Psych Blues album. So I'm going with Captain Beefheart and his Magic Band, and the album Clear Spot, which is probably his most accessible album, but he's kind of got that blues psychedelic feeling on this one. And he's even got one song in here, Too Much Time, which is kind of like the most normal song that he's ever recorded. It should have been a hit, actually. It's a, kind of a soulful, bluesy song. But Captain Beefheart is going to be my Psych Blues. The next prompt is number 15, Show a British Blues album. I'm going with amazing Fleetwood Mac debut, or it's often called Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac, where they, do like Robert Johnson's Hellhound on My Trail and some other famous blues songs. And just an amazing English blues, British blues recording. And this is off the Blue Horizon label, put out by Fat Possum, reissued. So that's my one for that. 16, an album by a king of the blues. So King and last name, so it could have been B.B. King or Albert King, or I'm going with Freddie King Sings, which is kind of different in this one, is that he spells it F-R-E-D-D-Y, but almost everything else in his repertoire or his catalog, it's spelled F-R-E-D-D-I-E. But wonderful guitarist. Probably his most famous song is You've Got a Lover with a Feeling, but great guitarist, Freddie King. Next one, and the one I thought I was going to have trouble with, is to show a album in delicious color, or a colored vinyl. And I did find one, that's this Tony Joe White in the beginning. This was put out Record Store Day, but he's kind of got the Louisiana blues, Delta blues, kind of this swampy rock blues feeling. It's a wonderful songwriter, and this album came on this kind of splatter vinyl. Looks like that. Really cool color. But Tony Joe White. Okay, so next, somebody that's recommended to you a blues album. Now, back in the day, some of the record stores, at least around Kansas City, they used to have, bigger staff, and the record stores were bigger sometimes, and they'd have like a country guy, a blues guy, a classical guy at this one store called Penny Lane, which used to be in Kansas City. And one of the blues guys had recommended this album by Little Charlie and the Nightcats, and they're a lot of fun. Charlie Beatty is just an amazing guitar player. This is also on Alligator, but it's called All the Way Crazy. They got a song like TV Crazy on here, which is a pretty funny song. A lot of references that a lot of the younger people probably won't get now. And also got a song, I'll Take You Back, which is a very sarcastic song. If you can kind of guess on that one, what that's about. So next, 19, a glorious blues find or discovery. Well, Chris had shown a Howlin' Wolf album, and I'm going to show a Howlin' Wolf album. It's one off Ace reissue, and it's called Riding in the Moonlight, and it has it's a compilation that has a lot of Howlin' Wolf songs that I have not heard before. And I have several compilations and a couple of his albums, but most of these songs I do not know. I did not know. So on Ace, another good reissue label, and I've got quite a few of Ace and Charlie. They made some great reissues, including this one. So, getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Number 20, that's the last one. The first blues album that you remember getting. Well, the one I said was in my collection the longest was that Bobby Bland. So that's really the first blues album I got. But so I'll just go show the second blues album I got, which is this Elmer James album that originally came out in 1960. I think this is like a later 60s reissue, but it's on United. And Blues Before Sunrise, this is the label. When he starts hitting those guitar chords on there, it's just an amazing how Elmore James plays the guitar, and he influenced so many other guitarists. But anyway, that's my blues vinyl tag. Thanks, Chris, for setting this up, and I hope many others join because I would like to see your collections. So everybody, thanks.